Every year, AEA has a special day called Field Day, and it is awesome. And what makes it so awesome? You. Yes, you. Because on Field Day, you get to put all your IB attributes and attitudes you learned and talked about with your teachers into action. Everyone enjoys Field Day more when you show creativity, respect, integrity, appreciation, cooperation, tolerance, and enthusiasm, while also being caring, open minded, principled, independent, and a communicator all throughout the day. You can even earn bonus points for your class by demonstrating these attributes and attitudes. Each class has a specific color on Field Day. You can wear clothes with your team's color to school instead of your regular uniform. You get to be on a team with your class and play fun games alongside with your entire grade. And whenever you play relays and games, you want to be a good sport. A few ways to demonstrate that you are a good sport is by doing your 100% best, following all the rules, encouraging your classmates, using self-control, being caring, fair, and respectful towards everyone on your team and the other team, trying to win but not bragging if you do, congratulating the other team if they win, and just having fun learning, playing, and exercising with your friends whether you win or lose. Now that we know what Field Day is all about, we are ready to learn about the games that you get to play. First up, roller racers, and I'll let Spider-Man demonstrate.
Scooting, ready, go, Spidey! There goes the web slinger, the wall crawler, the scooter master, and then he stops, and then the next person gets on the scooter. You go to the back of the line and take a seat. Are you guys ready?
As you saw with Spidey, for the roller racers, you first sit on the scooter in the starting area while holding on with your hands and scoot with your feet around the far cone and back to the start of the line, where you'll hand off your scooter and go to the back of the line to sit down and cheer on your team. Next up are the water balloon relays, where you will get wet. First, the balloon pop relay, where you'll wait in line with your team until you're at the front and it's your turn to get a balloon out of the bucket. You'll wait for the person in front of you to make it back, and then it's your turn to run to the chair. You then put the balloon on the chair and sit on it until it pops, or you can break it on yourself any way you choose while you're sitting in the chair, as long as you don't bite it. After the balloon pops, run back to your team, tag the next person in line, and take a seat at the back of the line. The next water balloon relay is the batter up relay, where you might get wet. When it's your turn, hold the bat and one balloon and run to the large cone. You'll place the balloon on top of the cone like a baseball tee and hit it with the bat. You can hit it like a baseball player or just whack at it. After you hit the balloon, you'll run back and hand the bat to the next person in line and sit down at the end of the line. Your team will continue until everyone has had a chance to play. Everyone gets one turn on these relays. The volunteers will time you and see how fast it takes your entire class to finish. They'll then divide that time by the amount of students, and the lowest time or the fastest time wins that relay. The next relay is the frisbee water relay, where you might get wet. The object of this game is to fill the frisbee with water from a large tub and bring it to pour in your team's bucket. The student in the front of the line starts with the frisbee. That student runs to the tub, scoops some water into their upside down frisbee, and then they take the frisbee back to their team's bucket and pour the water into that bucket. They'll hand the frisbee off to the next person in line, and the next person repeats that. If you drop all your water on the way, you don't get to go back to get some more. Just dump whatever you have left into the bucket and give the frisbee to the next person. Continue until each person goes, and our volunteers will then measure who has the most. Another fun relay where you will get wet is the sponge relay. Two classes will go to a large kiddie pool. Each class splits in half to form two single file lines behind the pool, which makes 4 total lines out of each pool. The person in the front of the line reaches down and fills up the sponge full of water. Then they pass that soaking wet sponge over the top of their head to the student behind them. This continues until the sponge gets to the last person in line. The last person squeezes the sponge into the bucket at the back of the line and then runs back to the front of the line with the sponge. Once at the front, it's their turn to fill up the sponge and then pass it over their head, and the relay continues. Each team gets 8 minutes to see how much water they can get into their buckets. The next game is the target toss. Your class will go to a large triangle that has 3 1-point cans, 2 5-points, and 1 10-point can. You'll form lines behind the baskets full of beanbags and tennis balls, and on the signal to begin, the entire class will take turns throwing until all of the beanbags and tennis balls are in the cans or triangle, or until the given time limit of 5 minutes is up. To help your team score more points, 3 or 4 students from each class will be retrievers with buckets. The student retrievers may retrieve any ball or beanbag if it is outside of the triangle, and then bring them back to the players behind the line to be thrown again. Balls or bags landing in the triangle cannot be retrieved. When the time is up, or after all the balls have been thrown in the bins or have landed inside the triangle, the volunteers will add up your points. Your teacher has been encouraging you all year, and now it's time for you to encourage them at the teacher toss. Before or after your class throws at the target toss, you will sit at the nearby shaded tables and cheer on your teachers who will do their best to help earn some extra points for their class. Each teacher will get 8 beanbag tosses at the board from the cones. Every beanbag that goes through the hole equals 3 points. Every beanbag that lands and stays on the board equals 1 point. These beanbags don't always cooperate with the teachers, so they'll need your support. The next station is the Lego Challenge in the shaded lunch arbor. Each class will sit at their designated tables. You'll sit next to a building buddy, and every 4 students, or 2 sets of building buddies, have 1 Lego bin to share. A volunteer will spin a wheel to determine the Lego Challenge theme for the building buddy pair to complete. Those categories include an animal, a place, a monster, a robot, a spaceship, a vehicle, or the spinner's choice if it lands on free choice. You'll then have approximately 12 minutes to complete the Lego Challenge. If you finish early, you can add to your creation, combine creations with your building buddies across from you, or build a scenery for your creation. Class points are awarded based on students putting the IB attitudes and attributes into action while participating in the Lego Challenge. There's a lot of people and there's a lot going on during field day, but it is so much fun when everyone in our community gets together to play and help each other out. Well, now it's almost time for us to get out there for field day. It's going to be great.